What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another review. This time we're going to be covering Zodiac, directed by David Fincher, based off the actual case of the Zodiac killer from the 1960s and 70s. This movie stars Robert Downey Jr., Jake Gyllenhaal, and Mark Ruffalo. Alright, so I'm going to try and make this review as short as I possibly can because I can talk about the Zodiac movie and the Zodiac case for hours. To this day, I still think the Zodiac case is the most fascinating case, probably in the history of of American crime. That's just me personally. Just like all the evidence and the suspects and how they were never able to pin anything on somebody because of whatever factors that were there. I can theorize this for hours on end, but I'm not going to do that because I want to talk about the Zodiac movie itself. So without wasting any time, let's get right into this thing. What I admire about this movie Zodiac, is the attention to detail. And again, I've reiterated this in every single review I've done. David Fincher's attention for detail is exquisite. You can tell that this man is a true artist because he will not do anything unless it's perfect. And when he recreates those real life moments that transpired in the real events, and when he translates that to screen, the attention to detail is immaculate. Reading the case reports, reading the interviews, and visualizing that in his head and recreating that on screen is fantastic. The recreation of the attack on Darlene Ferrin and Mike Mougeot, it's awesome. The attack on Lake Berryessa with Brian Hartnell and Cecilia Shepard, fantastic. It's even to the point where the real life Brian Hartnell, while at the film, reportedly had to turn his head during that scene because the way it happened on screen was how it happened to him in real life, and it affected him so bad that he had to turn away. The recreation that Fincher did and showing it the proper respect, not being overly gross with it, not being too gory with it, but seeing it play out as a recreation. When you're watching it, it's chilling. It's chilling, but it's brilliant. And I think David Fincher, again, only a guy like him could make a movie like Zodiac and make it feel authentic. And you can clearly tell that he took the time to research the Zodiac case, because what you see on film is it's not made up. It's what was done in real life. All the notes that were taken, all the witness reports, they took all that and they applied it to this movie. But they put their own little thing on it as well. But pretty much watching the Zodiac movie is like watching a Zodiac documentary, and I thought it was fantastic, brilliant. So yes, the recreation of the Zodiac killings was fantastic. The overall production value of this movie is fantastic too. I'm a sucker for period piece movies. Seeing this movie take place from 1969 all the way to 1990 is fantastic. The attention to detail in the costumes and the set designs and the way everyone looked back in those days, beautiful, immaculate. The cast is fantastic. Not just Jake Gyllenhaal, who was really really good, not just Robert Downey Jr., who was fantastic, and not just Mark Ruffalo, who I also thought was good, but the supporting cast was also good. You have Anthony Edwards, who plays Bill Armstrong, David Tashi's partner, and I thought Anthony Edwards did a really good job. You have Elias Koteas, who played Jack Mullinex, the sergeant of Vallejo County. I thought did a job well done. Donald Lang played Ken Narlow, the the top cop in Napa County. Again, another good performance. John Carroll Lynch plays Arthur Lee Allen, the prime suspect in the Zodiac case. Who, when you look, I'm going to be going off course, but when you look at Arthur Lee Allen, you look at the testimonies and you look at the case, it's really hard not to get suspicious that maybe this man really is the Zodiac. It's really hard to say that he's not when all the evidence points in his direction, but they were never able to pin anything on him because of handwriting samples and DNA. Again, that's a whole other story for a whole different time. But performance-wise, John Carroll Lynch, he's not in the movie. He's in the movie for a couple of scenes, but I like his performance. To me, he comes across as being very creepy and unnerving. And John Carroll Lynch just has like this calming facade to him when he's playing Arthur Lee Allen. Again, it's very brief, but it's a good, really good performance. Supporting and the rest of the supporting cast is great too. You know, Chloe Savini, she plays the eventual wife of Robert Graysmith. I thought she did fine, and all the other supporting cast members that are sprinkled throughout this movie, I all thought did a really excellent job as well, bringing this thing to life. So, yes, Zodiac, the movie, to me, this movie is a perfect 10. I just gave you my broad and general thoughts on this thing. There's so much more to talk about, but again, I wanted to keep this thing very broad, very brief, because if you have not seen the Zodiac movie, and if the Zodiac case itself interests you, you owe it to yourself to watch this movie. Not only that, you owe it to yourself to watch the two documentaries that are on the special features. One is a documentary on Arthur Lee Allen, and one is a hour-and-a-half documentary on the Zodiac killings that took place. You know, the attack on, you know, the Faraday killings, the Darlene Ferrin killing, the attack on Brian Harnell, the Paul Stein killings, which took place in San Francisco, and of course the attack on this woman called Kathleen Johns. This is beautiful. This is awesome hour-and-a-half documentary where we get witness reports, where we get accounts from the survivors and the acting police officers who are involved in those crime scenes, and it's a really good documentary, and it's very, very insightful. And if that stuff interests you, then this is a awesome pickup. I can't recommend it any highly enough. So yes, Zodiac for me is a 10 out of 10. This is it. This is probably my second favorite David Fincher movie, right below 7. This movie is fantastic. I love it. I'm a sucker for history. I have a curious fascination with with true crimes, and especially a crime like the Zodiac, which to me is the American version of Jack the Ripper, the killer that was never caught. Yeah, I can't praise this movie enough. So yes, 10 out of 10. I love Zodiac. I think it's a great, fantastic movie. If you like Zodiac, let me know in the comment sections down below. If you have any opinions on the actual Zodiac case, let's start a little debate down below. Like this video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.